Hey folks, today we're going to try and set up dbt Cloud with Azure DevOps using service principles. So the first thing we want to do is we need to do some stuff in Azure. So I'm logged into my Azure portal here. And the first thing that we want to do is you want to go to Entra and then go to app registrations. And then we can create a new app registration. So we'll call it SP2. And then here we want to specify any Entra directory multi-tenant. And then you want to select web. And there's a redirect URI, which we can get from our account in dbt Cloud. So in dbt Cloud, I'm going to go to integrations and then double check and copy this URL right here. So that's what the doc say, Azure Active Directory complete. And then I'm going to register that. Okay, next thing to do is we want to create a secret. So I'm going to go down the secrets route, create a secret. So I'll set it to 180 days. And then let's go and create that and make sure we copy the value and store it somewhere. Save. Okay. Then the next thing we want to do is to double check the application service principal. So I'm going to go back to my application, and here I have a service principal already. This is what the doc say. If you don't see a service principal here, then you'll see a create service principal instead. But in this case, we already have it, so there's no reason to create another one. Okay, so now the admin needs to provide configure some APIs for the application, I believe. So we're going to go into API permissions. And then we're going to remove the existing one, which is this user.read stuff. Get rid of that. Add permissions. Go to Azure DevOps. And this is the only one here. So we're going to click this. I'm going to add this. And then that's that, I believe. Okay. So I'm just going to do a grant here as well. I believe that's for user specific, but which is probably not going to come into play here. Okay, now we want to jump on over to Azure DevOps to connect, or well, to add the service principal that exists over here. So I'm going to go to Azure DevOps, go to my Azure DevOps organizations. And then I will pick this organization. I have two projects here. Go into my organization settings. If I go into Entra, then I can see that this is connected to this directory, which is the directory that we created the application in. 35C, 35C. Okay. So the other thing we need to do is we need to add users here. So we can go into users. Then we can go add. Speed 2. This should line up with the app that we created. So just to double check. SP2, dbt Cloud, ADO SP2. And then we can see the service principal IDs here. CD5C. Looks like it's that one. CD5C. So let's go ahead and do that. access should be basic, and then I will add it to all projects as an administrator, and then I'll go ahead and add. So some issue with that. Maybe I'll just check off this email bit, and then I'll go and add. So this is running, and that looks like it's done. Okay, now that's done. We want to go back to dbt Cloud and then add in all the information. So here, if you're back in dbt Cloud, I will edit the integration here, then make sure service principal is checked. For the Azure DevOps organization, we want to set it to this. So I'll set it here. And then we can go back to the app. And then just to get client ID and so on. Let's get the client ID. Let's get the secret. So this is what we stored from before. Get the directory or tenant ID, which would be this. And then we will give it a save. And then that's done. Okay, so now we can go into projects, and then hopefully we can list the repository. I'll disconnect the old one, and then I will configure. I'll go to ADO, and then I want to use analytics, and then I'm going to use the analytics repository. So if we go at that, select, okay, that's done. Now, if I go to ADO, just to double check the repo, analytics has got this setup here, table and then full. So that's configured. So I'm going to go to a run just to double check that it works. Prod, got a job here. And you can see the job just does dbt build. So let's go ahead and do a run just to confirm that we can clone without any problems. So you can see we've cloned. And then we're building. And then we have succeeded, right? So we built model full. And then clone the repo from EDO. And then we built the stuff. So that works as expected. Thank you.